Hi, it's Michelle. Today I'd like to talk about mutual respect. And before anybody turns me out, I'd just like you to hear me out and hear me to the end because I think I'm going to say a couple things that hopefully will help improve some of our relationships. Because I know that we struggle with relationships and everything that's going on in our brain and in our bodies so much. And those relationships are important to us. And that includes our relationships with our doctors. And if you're a doctor listening to this, don't tune me out because this will probably hit home for you too. At least I'm hoping it does. I'm hoping you have the integrity that it does. So several years ago, somebody brought me an audio file. And it was her meeting with her primary care doctor. And he was a relatively new primary care doctor that she had only seen a couple of times. And at least one of the first times, he was very disrespectful. And she walked out of there wondering if it was her, right? Am I just tripping? Did he really talk to me that way? And that's really common with people with brain injuries because we do have certain emotional responses that we're learning how to function with, and we do have a tendency to act out emotionally where something that is not meant to be personal feels really personal, or we get angry really faster than we used to. We're not the same people that we used to be, and we have to learn how to deal with the damage that's been done. Excuse me, like my voice problems, to deal with the damage that's been done and still be and become the person or the people that we want to be. So so back to the story. So this woman showed me this audio clip and I honestly was appalled. It was not her. It was totally him. I was appalled because never, ever have any of my doctors spoken to me like that. And what he said basically was he told her that she had convinced a neurosurgeon to do an unnecessary brain surgery, and that she had convinced a general surgeon to remove her gallbladder, and that she was just this conniving woman that needed to get real with herself and stop seeing conditions that she didn't have, right? Where she was talking all these surgeons into doing these unnecessary surgeries. And it wasn't just what he said, it was how he said it. This doctor, this primary care physician, I won't even say the state because I still have your back on that, but he yelled at her. Like he was very degrading to her. And I was appalled for her. And this wasn't a woman who had been a victim, right? She hadn't lived a victim's life. She wasn't someone that was so emotionally distressed that she was easily broken. Not that that would make it any different, because you don't break a broken person. But she was a strong woman. She was a business owner. Before Chiari, she really had a lot going for herself and was struggling to find her way again. And he really made sure that at least under his care that she wasn't going to do that. So with as wrong as that is, and how we should never, ever be victimized by our doctors, right? Doctors, your patients are not your victims. I don't care how many times you have to repeat that over and over again to let that sink in. It's so important. Our lives matter, and they should matter to you. And if they don't, then you're probably in the wrong profession, right? Or you might need to get some counseling to work out your feelings so that you can be the best doctor that you can. But on the same note, the same holds true for us, right? So our doctors are not our victims. And when they tell us things that we don't want to hear, when they are having a bad day and don't seem to have time, when they don't seem to give us 100% of their attention, right? We are still responsible for the measure of respect that we bring into that conversation, right? Because the truth is no matter how much they like to think that they control us, they don't, okay, unless we let them, right? I really am big. I'm very direct, but I'm also very big on respect. I try and talk to people the way that I would want to be talked to in return, and I try and show respect for other people. And with that means that sometimes they know that I'm going to forgive, and they also know that I have Chiari, so I'm probably going to forget. But they also, so what happens is, they don't have the power over me. They'll apologize and I'll forgive them, but that's my choice. That's me standing in my choice in the relationship, right? They cannot piss me off so much that I have no choice, right? That I have no choice. I'm just going to relinquish my self-control and lose my temper. Because when that happens, that means that technically they have power over you, that you have relinquished power, because they couldn't just take it. Nobody controls my self-control but me. And so I'm now granted, that's a lot easier to say and believe in than it is to necessarily walk in all the time. I understand that, and that's when apologies become really important. But at the same time, we can improve our relationships with our doctors if we remember that they're people, right? They are human beings. They're not machines. We're not their only patient. They may have lost patients that year or that month or that week or that day. Patients sometimes that have been in their life for many years, many surgeries that they care about. And to pick yourself and go on, to go on doing what your heart has commanded to do, right? When you've gone through so many years of training and invested so much of your life in something, it's hard to pick up after that, after a loss. After the heartbreak that goes with a loss, right? It's hard to pick up after that. And those of us in the Chiari community, we know that because we bond with each other. We've cried together. We've cried over the way that our doctors have talked to us and made us feel. We've cried together when we wanted to give up, and when we had to remind each other that we were worth the fight. And then we've had those people pass or even take their lives. And I know for me, I can't speak for everybody, but for me, it was incredibly hard every time to get past that and to go on and to know that I had to keep advocating or teaching advocating. Is that even a word, avocation? I don't know. But I had to keep encouraging people because I was made to be an encourager. And this is the fight before me. So I feel just called and compelled to encourage people that are living this fight. And that's not easy to do when somebody that I loved just died. And those that work the closest to me, they see me right after, and how quiet I am, and how angry I am, and how I'm ready to quit again. And they also see God kind of have to walk me through it and get up again and go in and love everybody else that's in my sphere of influence, and love them like I've never had that loss, like I've never felt that loss, like I'm not afraid of loving them again. And so that's not easy, but we can definitely you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. If you are respectful to your doctors, you will get a lot more feedback from them because they're going to want to help you more, right? And if you're just a rude person to them that gave them a piece of your mind, then you're not going to get as much feedback from them. You're not going to get somebody who wants to help you, and you're in turn going to have one less piece of your own dang mind. And with Kiari, we need to consider ourselves blessed for every piece that we have. So, and in family dynamics, in family relationships, it's so much harder, right? Because they already got that. They already got us to relinquish our self-control in the way that we talk back in 3rd grade, right? When we were siblings and wanted to beat the crap out of each other. And that's the truth. But we can break that trend. We can break that trend. I know what it's like to have family members not believe that we're as sick as we are. And they don't believe. They'll see a video like this and say, look how well she looks. Well, the truth is that they don't realize that it took me 6 hours to shower and do my hair and do my makeup and get dressed and take a nap and then wake up and fix my makeup again just to do this 15-minute video. So, in your family dynamic, be honest about what you need, right? And understand their point of view, right? A husband, he might be really afraid of losing his wife. And even if it's coming across as someone who just doesn't care and just wants you to clean and stuff, right? And assume your normal duties that you always have and doesn't understand, it might really be that he's petrified of having to do it without you. And so you kind of got to learn to talk about the things that aren't being said. And my husband and I, we have a rule that we speak before spoken to, right? So if I have to tell him, if I have to tell him, you seem like such and such, then he's been spoken to, and he should have told me what he was feeling, right? We don't have to wait and pick up on vibes. We did that. We've been married for 28 years now, so we did that. We got the t-shirt. We got PhDs in emotional drama within a marriage, trust me. But we grew up, and we made a commitment to trying to stay together, and we've had everything come against that, and we're still together. We're still clinging together, and it's not easy, but he's an amazing man, and I'm very much in love, and he's in love with a sick wife, and he deals with a lot more stuff than other men have to deal with, and I love you, baby. But but your family, your siblings, aunts, uncles, people who you think don't understand, they're probably dealing with elements of fear in all this. So try and understand that and try and come at them again. Don't give up on them, right? Even if you have to back away so you're not being mistreated, because you can't be a doormat and stand up for somebody. You can't stand up for a relationship if you're busy getting walked on, but you can back up and strengthen yourself and reposition yourself so you're no longer positioned to be walked on, and you can come back to that relationship and say, are you willing to make it better? Because I am, right? Our relationship matters to me, so I'm here and I'm meeting you right here. Let's make it better together, and if you're not ready, I'll come back later. And just kind of let God and time heal things between you. But keep your love on. All right, so that's all I wanted to talk to you about. All right, take care.